Russki diplomatic corps and their families include leftward the UK in an deportation next to the Salisbury spy assault. Tactful vehicles heard them of the legation in London to Stansted Aeroport, wherever they boarded up a aircraft to Moscow. The UK sent 23 diplomatic corps following Main Secretary Theresa May told Russia was guilty for the poison of Sergei Skripal and his child. The government solved on Tuesday not to levy future sanctions regime on Russia for currently. Yet, at a meet of the Domestic Safety Justice, Mrs. May told, down there are some measures how by the government and safety officials are vigorously examining and stay prepared to expand at any period. Stringent checks by boundary officials on individual air transportation include been entered as the UK increases efforts to display and path such incoming the nation, Mrs. May's representative added. Moscow has rejected all participation, and is expulsion 23 UK diplomatic corps in answer. The UK diplomatic corps include before Sunday to keep Russia. The Kremlin is as well closed downward both of the UK justice in Russia, that promotes culture bonds among the nations, and the consular agency in St. Petersburg. The Russki Overseas Ministry, meantime, has guessed all overseas ambassadors in Moscow to a meet on environment to explain the Russki stance on the Skripal case, the Russki news story agent Interfax has informed. The Russki legation in London told about 80 human beings, consisting the Russki intellect commanders and their families, were due to keep the UK on Tuesday, the last date taking into account by Mrs. May. A little mob collected external the legation and wavy farewell to human beings transport suitcases, family and pets as they boarded up vehicles. But no to do so risks accusations of weak of several room, he added. They had been vulnerable to a nervous system broker of a kind advanced by Russia named Novichok, the UK by the government claims. More than rather than 2 weeks on of the assault, the chief of Resist Terrorism Police in the UK, Met Police Force Aide Commissar Neil Basu, told the attention of the Salisbury inquiry is on the movements of the Skripals. Commanders are minesweeping via 4,000 several hours of video surveillance system length and include already undertaken 400 statements in more than to go. Meantime, next a telephone urge among Japan Main Secretary Shinzo Abe and Mrs. May, Downing Road told Japan convicted the Salisbury assault and share our indignation. The leaders of France, Germany and the US include already incorporated supporting for the UK in a collaborative declaration and the EU proposed its unskilled cohesion. EU leaders will encounter at a summit conference in Brussels on Thursday to talk any capacity answer to Russia. He told he would do industry in Russki CEO Vladimir Putin but affirmatively and on the base of the UK's values. Mr. Skripal, a retired war intellect colonel, came to the UK in 2010 following Creature liberated of jail in Russia. He had been concluded in Moscow in 2006 for espionage for Britain and fleeting the identities of Russki open secret agents in Europe to E6, the UK's open secret intellect facility. His child, Yulia, flew in the UK of Russia on March 3, the day up she and Mr. Skripal were found on a seat close the Maltings Trading Centre in Salisbury, Wiltshire.